Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 41 of the Video Games Ahoy podcast. I'm Jonathan Radford, and today I'm joined by Daf Gape.
Hello!
And Zach Hamilton.
Goodbye.
Oh, again. Cracking Beatles song. We've referenced that
This is
before,
when I
haven't we?
leave. This is when I leave.
You say yes. I've also done that previously. How are you doing, gents? How's it going?
Very well.
We good?
Good week.
Very well.
Good
good.
week? Good
And
week?
it's only Wednesday.
Is it Wednesday? It is Wednesday. Do you know, I've lost track of time. I don't know what day it is. I really don't know. I think... Yeah, I think the only reason why I know that it gets to the weekend is because Rosie's not working, and that's how I know where I am. But yeah, we've had a lot of fun streaming recently, haven't we? A lot of good streams going on. Dav did Dad did a lot of Hitman. You did it was it Hitman last week, Dav?
Did some Hitman, some Cyber Shadow, some Slay the Spire.
Are you talking about Cyber Shadow today?
I'm not talking about Cyber Shadow today.
Ooh. Very briefly then, what would do? Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs sideways?
Thumbs up, but other games have thumbs even upper.
Right.
I understand.
Other games that compare with Cyber Shadow have thumbs even upper.
Sure. It did look fun when you were playing it, but it did also look kind of crazy. All right, let's move on to the old podcast. So if you are listening to us, then hey, we're Video Games Ahoy, if you don't know us. But if you do, then we love you and welcome back. We put these episodes out every Saturday morning, although there are a lot of people listening to us in the US. In fact, I mentioned this last week, but it seems like the majority of the people listening to us are from the US. So maybe we should start speaking, maybe releasing the podcast later, or just start referencing we're going to change the dollars. Everything's going to be referencing dollars.
Yeah.
Everything's all the
and
time.
We have to do American accents.
We're going to talk in American accents for the entire show now. Hi, my name's Jonny Radford, and I'm your host.
I think that's pretty good.
now try an American accent.
Yeah,
hey.
that was Canadian. That was Canadian. But yeah. So to everyone in the US, hey, and around the world as well, because we get people from all over the place. It's really lovely. But yeah, we put these out every Saturday. So just keep an eye out on Saturday. Listen to us on your.
I like to think of us as the replacement for Saturday morning cartoons.
Yes,
it's like the Saturday morning cartoons, but for grown-ups.
but not as hey, Saturday morning cartoons are for grown-ups.
That's debatable. Do they still do Saturday morning cartoons? They must.
Well, we're going to get on to cartoons later because...
Are we really?
Yeah, we're going to get on to at least one cartoon. I'll explain in a little bit when we get to the news.
Okay.
But yeah, we're on loads of podcast hosting sites. So check us out all over the place. We're everywhere. And if you want to see our faces, check us out on YouTube. If you don't want to see our faces, I completely understand. But if you do want to see them...
Don't look at YouTube. Or
we're
Twitch,
on YouTube.
or anywhere. Because our faces are everywhere. We're everywhere at the moment.
And stick around to the end because we'll talk about the Patreon page and what we offer over there. But to everyone that contributes, thank you so much. Thank you. We love you. We love you. Right, let's move on to the news. There's a lot of really, incredible news for Nintendo. Let's just start off with that because they have had... We already knew they were going to have an incredible year with regards to sales. Anyway, because everything leading up to Christmas was incredible. I'm going to keep using that word because it is. But they just released their financials for Q3 at the end of 2020, and they are ridiculous. The Switch has now sold just under 80 million consoles, which means it's officially overtaken the 3DS. We knew that was going to happen anyway, but I think, let me just skip a little bit to come back to it. I think it sold... where is it? I think it was something like 9 million in 3 months. I think I'll get to that in a little bit, but I'll just read through it. Some of this is incredible, honestly. So the Switch is now Nintendo's 5th best-selling console overall, behind the Game Boy Advance on 81 million, which it'll probably overtake in the next couple of months. Then it's the Wii, then it's the Game Boy. The Wii is on 100 million, and Game Boy is on 118, and then the DS on 154. I mean, personally, it's 4 years into its cycle. Or it's, I guess, how long it's going to go. I imagine it'll be 7.5 years. So around the halfway point, it's probably going to overtake the Wii in the next 2 years. I don't know if it has it definitely doesn't have a shot with the DS, I don't think. But it has a shot with the Game Boy.
The DS cheats, though. The DS doesn't count. That's like a bunch of consoles over the course of Wait, from 2005 when the first one came out, all the way up to what, 2013?
13.
So whenever the 3DS came out, which I think was
Whatever, that doesn't count because people would buy them sequentially.
Well, I was going to say as well, one other thing that we
years.
always forget with the DS is that the DS did a lot of things that our phones didn't used to do, but our phones currently do now as well.
That's true.
And
That's
it's in the same way that the PS2 was a DVD player for a lot of people. It pushed... Like, I'm not saying that people bought it because of that. Obviously they bought it because it brought that as well. But
I went on a tour of the Louvre, and you could buy like a tour guide, like a digital tour guide. And the digital tour guide was a DS.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
That's amazing. I love that.
My school had Nintendo DSs. I'm not joking. My school got given money to spend on Nintendo DSs and a little like guitar game. It wasn't Guitar Hero. It was like another game that was supposed to teach you about music.
Oh, wow.
And they got given there was 15 of them. No one ever used them, but they did have them. So
That's really cool.
I think the DS cheats.
It is interesting though that like the DS and the PS2, like I said, are the two highest selling consoles of all time, and they both have functions that go beyond gaming at a point where people didn't have those functions just like we do now. But so I'm going to continue on. According to Daniel Ahmad, the Nintendo Switch has sold 79.87 million units, so just under 80 million, after 46 months on the market. And this is how it compares to other consoles when launch aligned. In the same time frame, this is what's crazy. The same time frame, the PS4 was around 67 million, the PS2 was around 69 million, and the Wii was just under 75. So currently, the Switch is tracking higher than the PS4, the PS2, and the Wii, which
Did the Wii U get 46 months? Did they have 46 months worth of data?
The Wii U?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe, probably. Maybe. I mean...
It only lasted 4 years, didn't it?
Are you coming after the Wii U?
I mean, Dav's not here with his notebook, so I can see what
But, so here we go. So, another thing as well, so purely for Q3, Nintendo sold, 12 million Switch consoles, which is almost as much as the Wii U sold this entire time in the market, that's incredible. I think the Switch Lite has sold just as much as the Wii U. It's impressive. Let's just put it that way. They changed their forecast as well because they wanted to sell 24 million consoles over the year, but they've already achieved that, and they've still got 3 months left to go. So they've just changed that to 27 million, which would put it right up there with the record-breaking years that the DS had in 2007 and 2008. It's a strange one because I know we mentioned the Wii U quite a lot, but the Wii U was just so unfortunate in many ways because I've read so many comments about this over the last couple of days where so many people just thought it was an add-on to the Wii. So many people thought you bought the pad for the Wii and then that was the update sort of thing. It's so many bad
That's
mixed
weird to me though, because when was the last time we did that? We haven't been doing that for since like the Sega Genesis CD add-on. Like that's the last one I can think of.
And I think
we had they have got the nunchuck, they've got the classic controller, and they've got the Plus, the Wii.
Oh yeah,
remote Plus.
Yeah, the Wii Plus
that you
remote,
put onto the bottom of the controller. Mm-hmm. Like, it already had a ton of rubbish.
I guess that's true.
And weird and good peripherals. And, like, if you're not in tune with all the bad marketing, then there's no reason to assume it's anything else. It's called the Wii U. Like, it sounds like a game, not a console. It's
bad. It's bad. Like, it does sound like they should have... I mean, they really should have called it something else. We all know
and
that.
And the Wii Fit. They had the Wii Fit as well. That's another massive peripheral thing. I
think the thing as well is with the Wii, so many people bought that console who weren't traditional gamers. You know what I mean? In that sense, in that like
we're a traditional gaming family. Every year we sit around the TV and play games.
So many people who bought the Wii would have bought it just so they could have Wii Sports and Wii Fit, and then wouldn't have paid attention to anything else beyond that, which is absolutely fine. But like. They should have made it.
It means that if you're not used to the way that games and stuff are marketed,
iterations and stuff, exactly.
And also we're talking about. No, that's not true. I was going to say we're talking about a different stage in the internet. Not that big of a different stage in the internet. If we're talking about the Wii, if we're talking about like sort of 2007, 2008, I'd be saying we're in a different era of the internet to today. But 2012, I don't know if there's really much of an excuse.
Yeah, it was just bad. I think and Reggie actually said that recently. It was a massive turning point for Nintendo. It was make or break. He said that. It was like, if this fails, then...
Well, it was and it wasn't, because at the same time, in spite of that failure, Nintendo can afford to fail for a lot longer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They've got the money. They are in no danger. That's part of the reason why they were able to recover so easily with the Switch.
Yep.
I say easily, but you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, it really,
absolutely.
But incidentally, actually, while I do tend to defend the Wii U, I was streaming with it this week, and I did find it frustrating. I was getting like genuinely a bit tetchy because of the gamepad it doesn't charge. Like, it gives you about like 90 minutes worth of play, and it's like, that's not enough.
Yeah,
it's not enough.
It's just a big. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, but yeah, the Switch is doing incredible, and we're actually going to talk about software now, because this is probably possibly more incredible. Some of the things I'll talk about now. So with regards to software, it's been just as impressive. Animal Crossing has sold 19.4 million copies this financial year. So from, I think would have been something like April to I think it was December. And when added to the incredible debut it had, puts it at 31 million units in total. Just to give you some perspective, Grand Theft Auto 5 sold 33 million units on the Xbox Xbox One and the PS4 over the same amount of time. So on two consoles, it only sold 2 million more, one of the best-selling games of all time. Animal Crossing isn't going to track with GTA 5, but it's still... It's incredible.
If they let you make your own race courses in Animal Crossing, I'm so down.
Can you imagine that, just going into Tom Nook and just like sticking him up, just give me all your turnips, give me all you got. But yeah, also Mario Kart 8 Deluxe also continues to sell incredibly well with another 8 million. This is another thing. 8 million being sold this year, taking it to 33 million. If you include Mario Kart 8 from the Wii U as well, which it is pretty much, there are some added like DLC stuff for the Switch, I guess, that were added in and included. I think it comes up to 41 million. So Mario Kart 8 plus 8 Deluxe is the best-selling Mario Kart game of all time. It's probably going to beat the Wii anyway, because it's only 4 million behind, and it did 8 million last year, and it just continues to sell incredibly well.
So Mario Kart 8 is now outsold the Wii U.
I mean, Mario Kart 8's outsold the original Xbox.
That's
wow.
mad.
Like, Mario Kart 8 has outsold many consoles. Outsold the GameCube. GameCube was 22. Outsold the Nintendo 64. I think was like 32 as well. It's probably creeping up on the Xbox One, because that didn't sell well either. But
my point being, it was a Wii U game.
Yeah, yeah.
It
sold more than the Wii. Yeah, it's
at least double.
It's incredible. I think the attachment rate on the Wii U was something like 1 in every 2 people had it. Which is...
Well, to be fair, when the Switch came out, there really weren't very many options for games. Like, I remember I had my Switch for the first time, and it was like, cool, so this is my Breath of the Wild machine. You know what I mean? Like, what else was... And that was also before they were putting indie games onto it as well. You know, they were... Nowadays, I mean, now on the Switch, I think, I haven't looked at it in a while, but they have most indie games will come across. Yeah. At least any ones that are going to any other console are definitely coming to Switch, if not more so.
Yeah, more so, yeah. A lot of PC-only indie games are like, oh, actually, we need to make sure we're on Switch day one.
Yeah. Hades.
And that makes a big difference, because if you can play more stuff on it, that's just good. You know, that's already competition with your Mario Kart, especially if it's cheaper. Well, it's really, when it came out, it really was one of the few games that was there.
Sure, like there's some Japanese games which are coming out on. They're like, we'll talk about Apex Legends in a bit, but EA were told that Apex Legends is huge in Japan. You have to put it on the Switch because it will sell well, purely because the Switch is. We've spoken of this, really dominating the market in Japan. So that is the reason why Apex Legends is going on the Switch. I read about it yesterday. It's unbelievable. So just run through these as well, because it's been an incredible year for Nintendo, and I don't even think it was the best year software. I guess quality of software, that they've had better years. But
it's just another year of telling Nintendo that they don't need to make the games that we desperately want, because we'll just buy whatever they make.
Do whatever you do. So Pikmin 3 becoming the best-selling Pikmin game of all time in 3 months. Luigi's Mansion closing in on 10 million sales. Breath of the Wild smashing through the 20 million barrier alongside Smash Brothers, it's the best-selling Zelda title by far. Ring Fit Adventure has sold just under 9 million. Mario Kart Home Circuit also broke the million barrier with 1.08 million units sold.
I'm surprised they made that many.
And Super Mario 3D All-Stars sold 9 million copies since September, which means it'll probably break 10 million. I imagine the closer we get to March 31st and people start going, okay, I need to buy this, they'll break through 10 million quite easily. They've dominated in 2020. It's fairly unbelievable how well they've done. And I've got something else here, which is, again, a ridiculous stat. So Fire Emblem, Luigi's Mansion, Xenoblade Chronicles, Pikmin, Zelda, Animal Crossing, and Smash all have their best-selling games on the Switch. All of those series have their best-selling games on the Switch. And Splatoon 2.
Bring on Diddy Kong Racing 2.
I think I've said this previously. I think it's going to have an amazing... I'm hoping that it has an amazing effect on Metroid when that eventually comes out. Because that could kickstart the series in a way that it needs to. But we just want some Star Fox, Nintendo. That's all we want. And maybe some F-Zero. I do. I do,
and I know you do. But I don't think anyone else does.
That's true, and you don't have a Switch, so just be.
I don't even have a Switch. Dad, would you play a Star Fox game?
I'll play that Star Fox GP. I'll play the hell out of that.
Oh yeah, that sounds.
That Star Fox racing game that was apparently canned.
Oh,
I'd play the god-loving hell out of that.
But yeah, that is Nintendo's year. We'll move on now.
I'd love to know actually if anyone is listening to this and saying I don't want to play a Star Fox game, or let us know. However you do it, come and tell us whether or not you would play a Star Fox game, because I don't hear people talking about it anymore, and I love that series.
I think it's had a bad couple of weeks. I mean, in fact, we're not going to talk about this news story in general because it hasn't been verified as true, but apparently Nintendo were making a Zelda cartoon, and they were making a Star Fox claymation cartoon as well, and they cancelled it because news broke out that Zelda were making a TV show, so they cancelled the Star Fox one as well, which is... You just can't catch a break.
That seems really weird. Why would they be like, oh, they found us out. Quickly burn everything.
I think Nintendo sometimes do that, don't they? They do sometimes go, well, it's all ruined, all in the bin, and they'll
look what you did.
Yeah, they do.
In a way, it's kind of a cool way of dealing with that whole issue. Just being like, well, if that's how you want it to be, I'm turning this car around.
Turning this car around.
You know what I mean?
It is
it's completely that, isn't it?
It is exactly that. Turning this car around. All right. So we're going to move on to another topic, which is very unsurprising. Kotaku broke the news that Google Stadia, the late 2019 streaming platform that promised to revolutionize gaming by letting users stream games without needing to own a powerful PC or console, is altering course, getting out of the game-making business, and will now offer its platform directly to game publishers alongside Stadia Pro to the public. It's going to close the two studios it had located in Montreal, Los Angeles. They hadn't released any games. I think there's potential that any games that are currently being made they might release, but the closure is going to impact around 150 developers, with one source from their two Stadia operations said. Google said they're going to try and find new roles for those developers at Google, but I can't imagine how many 3D designers specific to video games you're going to find in Google specific video games. It just seems really. I think we said at the time. It just seemed bad. They didn't seem to have any kind of serious direction. And they were if you're going to pay for the subscription and then pay for games as well, why would people do that? If you were just competing with say Game Pass and just going, yeah, this is an alternative to Game Pass. This is Google. You pay for the subscription, you get all these games. I would have been more interested I would have been interested in using that because it did work relatively well on your TV. But why would I do that when I have to also then buy games?
And there has to be games for you to actually play.
Exactly.
This is to me. I mean, I don't know if everyone feels this way, but to me, I just don't understand how that isn't at the forefront of any new developer's mind. Make a game that I want to play. That's the whole thing. Yeah. I wouldn't be here talking to you about it if there weren't games that I wanted to play at some point in my life. You know what I mean? Sure. I don't get it.
Yeah.
First thing, make a fucking game.
Yeah. Obviously, you can have Stadia for free and buy the games and stuff, but you want the discounts and you want the free games, then you have to get the subscription. And the issue is that they came in with a games with gold model at the same time as everyone else is moving away from a games with gold model. And they've got this really archaic view of what a gamer is and what a gamer wants. and how to make games accessible. And how to make games accessible is not charging people full price for games that are at least 2 years old. And releasing your...
Oh, they're saying that it works for Nintendo.
Nintendo
are the different breed. Yeah,
like releasing a platform that is half-baked and not finished, but not claiming so when they did was ridiculously stupid. Like, it didn't work in the American infrastructure, and that is one of the biggest gaming industries in the world.
And it's not as if Google are a small company. Everyone knows who Google are. Like, it wouldn't have been... It just seemed, from what I've read, it does seem like the people they had at the top weren't listening to the people who actually knew what they should be doing. Like, the actual people who could make video games going, we should be doing this, and be like,
yeah, and Google. This isn't technically that nail in the coffin that Stadia is dead, but I mean, at this point, if they're not actually making games for it, if they're not supporting it, then it's clearly Stadia as it is not going to exist. In the near to slightly near future.
It's been 2 years.
It's been 2 years, and that's not long enough for them to have established a system that is going to be a household name. They need longer than that.
It's not even long enough to make a game. Like, realistically, it's not really long enough to make a game.
They announced it too early, and then they released it far too early. Like, there are still things now that they haven't got that they promised people to have. There are people buying founder editions, getting their own personalized things on their controllers and stuff, and it's just bizarre to me that I don't know. Like, I don't really like a "told you so" mentality, but I called it from day one. I was like, this is going to be another Google Glass. This is going to be another of a whole litany of rubbish Google things that have come and gone. Some of them are good things that have come and gone, and Google just rather flippantly just decides when to stop supporting something. And it really shits on people that have supported Stadia from the start, and those people deserve better. And the thing is, when you buy into a system, you fully buy in to the ecosystem, to the mentality. You have that sort of consumer bias of, I bought this thing, I really want to support this thing, I want this thing to work, and I want the company that makes it to make a viable product that many more of my friends can enjoy. And they've just betrayed those people, really.
It's going to be really interesting as well, because a lot of people there's a lot of people who have fears with streaming technology as well, that once they decide to turn off the games and just say, we're stopping it, then anything you paid for, you've lost. You can't play. So
you can't download it.
Yeah,
you can't
exactly.
download those games.
So that could be happening, where people have gone, okay, it's clearly not going to go off in the next 2 years, is it? And they've already stopped making games. I do also feel sorry for any developer that was kind of like taken in by the whole, we're going to be doing this for a long time, we're going to really put effort into it, and then 2 years. 2 years is really not long. But I just hope everyone that has lost a job is able to find another one, especially considering everything that's happening right now. It just seems really unfair.
The major issue I have with the whole, I guess the biggest issue I have with all of this is that Google is a smart enough and a good enough company to know, to have projections that tell them where they're going to be by a certain time if certain things haven't happened.
Yeah.
But the problem is, they could clearly probably see this coming.
Yeah.
But they don't have a care enough for human beings where they factor in those people before making these financial decisions.
Sure.
And they go, right, at a certain point we cut off Stadia because it's not going to make us the money back that we want it to make. Or even if it is profitable, it's not profitable enough for us to bother putting these resources into it. And that's how companies like Google work. That's how companies like Microsoft, Sony, that's how they all work. But Google especially, when there's such a mega gigalith of shit, then fuck Google.
It just, if you are listening to us on Google Podcast, I don't know what to say. But it's a good point.
Don't need to say anything because Google Podcast will be canned in a year.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, it just feels really unfair, for anyone that, like I said, got just taken in by everything, and I just want to reiterate that anyone that has lost a job, I really hope they find something anyway. Right, let's move on to more positive stuff. Now, something I'm very excited about is the Mass Effect Legendary Edition, as it had a confirmed release date, the 14th of May 2021. It includes all 3 games from the original Mass Effect trilogy, along with the DLC packs and expansions that were released for each title. It's been remastered with enhanced visuals and performance, and looks beautiful. BioWare have also since spoken about wanting to bring it to the Switch, but as it currently stands, it's only coming to the PS4, 5, Xbox Series consoles, Xbox One consoles, and the PC. I know you guys, we've said previously, you're not massively into Mass Effect, but I am, and I spoke to a couple of people about it the other day, and I really can't wait. I've seen a couple of videos of it. It just looks so good, and yeah,
I was a big fan of Mass Effect 1. Couldn't really get into Mass Effect 2 at the time. I think I just come straight from 1 and was like, oh no, I need a bit of time before this. But I can't wait for this to come onto Game Pass.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be really good. A lot of fun.
This time next year, I'll be playing it for free. Free, not free.
Let's move on to Platinum, because they had a really interesting interview with VGC's Andy Robertson where he spoke about Bayonetta 3 and a copyright change for a very recent game. Hideki Kamiya was asked about an update on Bayonetta 3, and his response was very in line with how he usually operates. He said, "It's not our position to say, but it's January. We've got to have something come out, right? I guess it's safe to expect that something will come out. There's still a lot of the year left, which is what I'm saying. I understand it's driving the fans crazy. In light of that, my suggestion would be that maybe we should all reset and forget about Bayonetta 3. He did this with No More Heroes. Like, he's done this loads of times. I fully expect Bayonetta 3 to get a trailer in the next month and the game to release by Christmas, because he does this all the time. He's hilarious. I've said that. We've talked about it previously. But yeah, Bayonetta 3, it does seem like maybe something's going to happen with that too, because he does this a lot. Platinum Games also spoke about Astral Chain no longer being partly owned by Nintendo, because previously it was... it's now fully owned by Nintendo, is what I should say. It was previously jointly owned by Nintendo and Platinum Games. And it was noted recently that it is now a fully Nintendo IP. So I do wonder whether Nintendo are going to make a second one, whether it just gets lost because Nintendo now own the IP. I don't know what's going to happen, but I really enjoyed the first game. I hope they make it too. That'd be nice. Lots of fun. Let's keep moving on, because now I do want to talk about Apex Legends. Chad, is it great? Dav, do you know this name? Chad Grenier? He's the game director on Apex Legends. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I apologize if it's wrong. Anyway, he released a statement the other day to announce that Apex Legends is coming to Switch very soon. In his little blog, he wrote, "Today, I'm proud to come to you with some good news. Apex Legends is coming to Nintendo Switch on March 9th. Porting Apex Legends to its smallest screen yet is a major achievement, and we couldn't have done it without our friends at... Of course, it's Panic Button. We're very proud of what the team has been able to achieve with some smart optimizations for the Switch port to deliver a fully featured Apex Legends experience on the go. It's cross-platform play, obviously, and I think they've said since we're launching a few weeks after the start of Season 8, Switch players will be granted 30 free levels for their Season 8 Battle Pass, and for the first 2 weeks after launch, playing on Switch will also earn you double XP. I know it's cross-platform, but is your file cross-platform?
No.
I was going to say, because like that would that mean that me and Zach could play on Apex Legends? Well, Zach hasn't got a Switch, but if I played on the Apex Legends on the Switch, could I then get the double XP and then transfer back over? But apparently it doesn't. You couldn't. So there we are. Oh well. Still great though. I'm probably gonna. Is it? It's £20? Is it £20?
No, it's free.
Is it free? I thought it was. Oh no, I'm thinking of.
You can get like starter packs and like origin packs and stuff that are like £20. But
I'm thinking of PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. I think that's £20.
You had to pay for that.
You have to pay for that. I think that's what it was. All right, let's move on, because this one is going to be for Daf Gape. Rumors of a new Mario & Rabbids Kingdom Battle started to grow online following a social media username change. Nintendo Life reports. Reddit user Theme Park Fan 2020. No, that's an unfortunate name. Theme Park Fan 2020. You're not going to many theme parks that year.
No.
Noticed that the official Rabbids Twitter account, previously @RabbidsOfficial, was changed to @MarioRabbids. Ubisoft then quietly reverted the account's handle back from Mario Rabbids back to Rabbids Official. Quick to note that the blue tick name changes have to be verified by Twitter to keep the verified status. So for them to do this, they had to actively seek Twitter out to make the change. So there could be some news brewing. Some news.
My worry is it's not a sequel. It's just another game with Mario and Rabbids. And it's not going to be a turn-based tactical RPG.
Just a different genre.
No, that's interesting. My concern would have been that it was just going to be like, it's getting ported to something else. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, that'd be interesting, wouldn't it?
No
Mario and
way.
Rabbids on
Mario's not going anywhere, and it's a Switch game anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, Switch game.
Yeah, so it's got nothing to get moved to. That'll be a sequel. I reckon that's a sequel.
I think basically someone's screwed it somewhere. Whether that's Ubisoft going too early, or whether that's someone like they've spoken to Twitter and said it needs to go on this date, and they've got the date wrong. But why would they change it to Mario Rabbids? Because it has to be changed by. They have to actively do it.
Yeah.
So it's hopefully we'll hear something about that because the first game was awesome. Zach, this is for you.
Oh my god.
The Last of Us Part 2 has won the most awards of any game in history, according to GameAwards.net. The previous record holder was The Witcher 3 with 261, whilst The Last of Us 2 now has 268. There's also a rumour that there's going to be a PS5 update or PS5 version of the game coming out soon, and I would love to play that in 60 frames per second and 4K. That's all I want to say. But yeah, Zach, won most awards of all, in history of all video games.
I don't really get why exactly. I mean, it's kind of, I guess it's kind of the Oscar bait of video games.
Yeah,
it does a lot of sort of Hollywood movie kind of things.
I think there are more awards being given out today.
Yeah, that's probably it, right? There's just more awards.
Well, I think The Witcher 3 was the last one in 2015 , so there
could easily be seven more.
We're here.
Yeah,
we gave
it could
out
be
3.
Yeah, it could just be 7 more.
Exactly.
More. Yeah, so it's just us. It could just be us. We'll give out an award at the end of this year, and then they'll include that. Very
on the other
prestigious.
hand, if they do the PS5 version, there's a good chance that in that time they might release the multiplayer with that.
Great.
That would be pretty great.
I really would love to play that game in 60 frames per second because
that would be dope.
It would be so nice. Just
I've
recently got used to playing in 60 frames per second. Obviously, with the PS5, everything's pretty much 60 frames, and it's so noticeable once you've noticed it. Once you've noticed it, it's so obvious.
I have a question for you both. Do you think that The Last of Us 2 is going to get DLC?
No.
Like a DLC, like a story DLC?
No.
Because the Last of Us Part 1 didn't have the DLC until it came out on the PlayStation 4, right?
But it's not DLC.
No, you could get it on PS3, I believe.
You could get a PS3, right.
It came with the PS4 version.
Yeah, that's what it was. So it came with the PS4, but it was added content to the first game.
Yeah.
I didn't know Last of Us 1 had DLC. I thought it was just the Left Behind thing.
Well, that's the DLC.
That is the extra
standalone,
game.
isn't it? You can buy that separately.
You can buy it separately, but it is originally DLC for The Last of Us. Yeah.
So when you get
it's about an hour's worth of game.
Yeah.
And it is story based. You play as a different character. And it sort of fills in some of the gaps of some of the story. So there has been some speculation. Now, Neil Druckmann at the time of release, I think, was saying no story DLC. But and to be fair, he has also since been made head of Naughty Dog. So I would argue that would give him less time to do such things.
I think new IP more than DLC.
I think that's very possible. That's very possible.
Multiplayer for Last of Us 2, and then they're making a new IP.
I think it's a shame because I think there's a lot of rich stuff you could go into to have a DLC, because the DLC on the Left Behind DLC on Last of Us 1 is really good and fills out a lot of character stuff, and it's just more of the game. Oh. Sorry everyone, I'm talking right now, so I can't mute the bell.
Clock time, baby.
I normally try and make it go off when I'm not talking, but I fucked up.
It's fine, man.
Last of Us 2.
Honestly, I like leaving it in there sometimes just because it's in there. It's like ding. Every time I hear it, I laugh, so it's fine. But yeah.
So I think it's a shame not to do a DLC for Last of Us 2, but I think there's a good chance that they won't.
I think you might be right. I think they might not want to touch it again. I think they might just want to leave the story because of. I hate saying it, but
On the other hand, I do think they are going to do a Last of Us 3.
Oh yeah, I think they're going to make a Last of Us 3.
I desperately hope they don't. I hope they do DLC and then call
move
it
on to a different story. Yeah,
or if they're going to do any more games, make it like a side game. I don't know. I don't care really.
Well, almost The Last of Us.
yeah.
The Last of Them.
The Last of Them.
Oh wow! So you play as a zombie. You play as a zombie.
Oh well, I was picturing it.
And you go and try and kill that. You try and kill us.
Oh,
you're
so
them. trying to kill us. Or...
Yeah, it's like you play The Last of Us 1, but from the perspective of the zombies.
Yeah. You get really upset when your friends are dying. Like, what are they doing? They're just trying to hug me. They're just trying to hug people.
Yeah.
They don't want brains. We're vegans anyway. So let's move on to the last news topic before we get to games. And this is a bit of Sonic news, some good and some bad. I'll start off with the bad. Roger Craig Smith tweeted last week, 10 years was an amazing run, onwards to new zones. Much love to the fans who've been so kind. It's been an honor. So the voice actor for Sonic is no longer working for Sonic, and I think the voice actor for Tails is not working on the games either. Or actually, I think it might be for this next bit, because Sega has also announced that they have a Sonic TV show coming to Netflix called Sonic Prime. There we are.
That's so ironic that it's going to Netflix and it's called Sonic Prime.
I've also seen...
I feel like that's an absolute kick in the teeth.
I've also seen Metroid Prime memes as well.
Yeah,
I've seen that with Sonic on the cover. But
there is a Nintendo show going to Amazon called Mario Netflix.
So they had to compete, yeah.
Just very, very quickly, with regards to Roger Craig Smith, do you know anyone else that he's voiced? Off the top of your
Chris
heads?
Redfield.
He has voiced. Well done,
wow,
great.
There's
another one.
Is he still Chris Redfield?
I don't know if he still is, but he has previously voiced Chris
Roger
Redfield.
Craig Smith also
Chris Redfield and Sonic.
Did he do Ezio as well?
He did do Ezio.
Yeah.
Zach Hamilton with
we talked about having voice actors in the Hall of Fame, and I definitely think he's deserving of being up there for the time that he was there. But this is interesting. So is he leaving just Sonic, or is he?
I think he's...
Do we know anything else? Is he going to be continuing with Chris? Because Chris Redfield's in Resident Evil 8.
I assume it's just Sonic. So Sega confirmed that he wouldn't be coming back as Sonic. So I don't know. We've spoken about Sonic previously, and I actually did I did a bit of a deep dive on Sonic today. I was looking through all of the games and where it started going wrong. And it does seem like that 2006 Sonic game was like a big turning point from being fun to absolute shit. It does.
Have you played Sonic Adventure?
Yo,
I have played Sonic Adventure.
Dude, I like
Adventure.
Sonic Adventure. I played it when I was a kid, but it's not good. Like it's a fundamentally broken game. There are parts of it that you can't get past properly. Like you can after a few tries, but there's floors that you're supposed to run across that aren't floors. It's a mess.
It does seem that Sonic got stuck a little bit on the gimmick of speed, and that's what Sega concentrate. Instead of the platforming of the first couple of games, they've gone, no, Sonic just needs to be quick now, and that's it's hard to make a game where that's everything about the character, really.
That doesn't make sense for a platformer where you're punished for going fast. Every time you run through a Sonic level, regardless of 3D or 2D, you go fast, and then you run into spikes. Unless you know the levels back to front, which is fine. Yeah. But the first time you play them, you can't go fast. Which is weird. Who designs a game like that? I really don't like Sonic.
I also
Sonic Mania is the best Sonic game ever made, and it wasn't made by Sega.
Made by Sega, yeah. Yeah, that's what I read, because I know you've said it previously, Dav, and I was looking online, people saying it's the best one because it wasn't made by Sega. It just seems like I think looking through the history of Sonic, it does seem like so much of it was we need to be cool and different to Mario, but Mario's built, its foundations were built in good platforming, whereas Sonic is where do we go from here? But I don't know. Hopefully, some good games will come. But I don't think I've played a Sonic game. Probably. When was the last Sonic game I played? Maybe the Olympics ones. That's probably the last one.
That doesn't count. That's not a Sonic game.
It doesn't count.
What's the last main series Sonic game you actually do think you played?
Probably the last one I owned was Sonic and Knuckles. Wow, I haven't played it on the Master System. That was a long time ago. I played Sonic Adventures at my cousin's house. I stayed at my cousin's when it first came out, and he had a Dreamcast, and I stayed over for the weekend, and I played most of the game. That was a lot of fun. But yeah, I haven't had a Sonic game in years. But yeah,
what about you, Dav?
Sonic Mania.
Sonic Mania
was the last one. Yeah.
Yeah.
And oh boy, what a game!
I was considering buying that because it was released recently, but I don't know if I got the time I don't know if I got the time to get into Sonic, because I'm gonna have to play all the games, and I can't put myself through that.
It's so jolly. Some of the levels are just so well designed. It's mad how good that game is.
All right, should we move on to games we're playing? Does anyone want to start?
You go, Dav.
Well, I've not really got anything I'm going to go in depth with.
Cool.
I'm sort of halfway through a number of things. I've got a 3-player co-op Gears 5 on the go.
Oh, nice.
That's a lot of fun. Really cool game. We're playing on an Xbox One, an Xbox Series S, and an Xbox Series X.
I like that.
And we are coming across some issues.
Is the one on the Xbox One really struggling?
Yeah. But some like things aren't happening in the game that should happen.
Sure.
Like it's getting a bit of performance anxiety.
All right.
But like we'll get to a bit and it's like, right, now defeat this, and we're like, this didn't appear.
Oh god.
We'll just restart the checkpoint, hope it turns up, and it did. So, but yeah, had to do that a number of times. And I'm also I started streaming Cyber Shadow last Wednesday. I'll be streaming it again tonight, and then finishing it next Wednesday. And that's a cool game. It's very similar to The Messenger in how it looks. It plays very similar to like an old Ninja Gaiden game, Ninja Gaiden / Mega Man-esque. And from what I've seen in the trailers and from what I've played so far, I think eventually it'll start playing like The Messenger plays.
Right.
But just with less nuance and a little... It has charm. It definitely has charm, but less charm. Just, I think if you've played The Messenger, you may not appreciate Cyber Shadow as much as if you hadn't played The Messenger.
Right.
But there's a lot to enjoy there.
That's awesome. It did look great. When I watched you playing it last week, it looked fun, but also kind of frustrating. I did wonder if it looked like a Metroidvania. For a while, I did wonder that, but it obviously wasn't.
I'm not sure at the moment, because I think there are Metroidvania essences about it.
Right.
There were like hidden rooms and all the rest of it and whatnot. And there is some back and forth on the levels, but there are are definite chapters that you go through.
Right.
But we'll see. We'll see what happens there.
Yeah,
but,
awesome.
It's a fun game. Really fun game.
Anything else? Anything else we're gonna talk about?
It's on Game Pass.
Classic. Where's Daf Week's
Ding, 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 ding.
Zach, did you want to talk? Dab, before we go, did you want to say talk about anything else?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, we'll hold on. Zach, anything you want to?
Man, I've been dipping in and out of stuff this week. I finished Celeste. Basically, anything that I said that was negative about it, I have since changed my mind about.
Yeah.
I agree. You can't play it unless you're pretty comfortable with platformers. So it's I was only, when I spoke about it, I'd only played the first level or two, and it felt a bit kind of, because it was early. Obviously, it's tough. It's a hard game, and I really enjoyed it. And it's got a lot. That's what I'm gonna say. It's got a lot going for it. Go play it.
Go play it. It has. All I want to say is that the form is its function.
Yeah.
The difficilty is so important to what that game is.
Completely.
And it's a really cool game, isn't it?
But I do think that you could do a sort of a westernized Mega Man thing. You know how Mega Man went from being normal, there was like one difficulty in Japan, and then they took it to the US and the UK, and they were like, okay, we're going to make an easy version of it for like the Western. I think you could do that, but you'd have to know yourself pretty well in order to choose the right difficulty. Because, like, if, for instance, because I want Bronwyn to play it, I would love for her to play it, but it's too hard. She won't get to the end. I'd like there to be a version that's, because if it was an easier version, it would still be hard for her because she's not used to playing platformers all that much. So, but I do agree. I don't want to say too much because I think it's a really great game to go. I really enjoyed the fact that I went in blind.
Yeah,
more or less. I also started playing. Have you guys played the NFL version of Rocket League?
I played one match.
No,
dude, I love it.
It is
so much fun. You need to have 3 or more people, in my opinion, for it to be really fun because it's very based on
4 on 4.
It's 4 on 4, but you want to be able to have enough people that you can communicate with because it's so based on teamwork, which is really nice. I was playing with some friends last night. There was 4 of us, and it was so like. It was really hype. It was really nice. It was a lot more friendly than my normal Rocket League games. They can get a little bit competitive. but because it's so reliant on like one
Teamwork.
Person moving down the field and the other person taking it and passing it off and all that stuff. It's fun. But I kind of hope they keep that mode. I don't think they will because they're doing it for the Super Bowl. But
and that's
a lot of fun. And it's a very simplified way of learning how American football works because I don't. How American football works.
I would not take anything that happens in that game as how American football works.
No. But I mean, it's a sort of a starting point for understanding how, because it's a confusing game. It's weird as shit.
I can definitely see where the relationship is between the two things, but
But it's not. I appreciate it's not the same.
Zach's going to go into the NFL. They'll be like, where are the cars? What? Where are the cars?
This is easy. I'm taking the other team out so easily.
Not where are the cars? I'm in a car plowing people down. God, that's funny. I haven't played anything else of note. I guess I played Wind Waker on the stream, but I'm probably going to keep going with that. So if you want to see any more of me talking about Wind Waker, I'll probably play that on Friday and Saturday. Really so tonight, if you're listening to this,
Friday and Saturday, or Friday and Sunday.
God, I always say Friday and Saturday. Friday and Sunday. You've corrected me on that like multiple times because just like it just flows. Just to say Friday and Saturday. Friday, Sunday.
Friday, Sunday.
Yeah, that's all. That's what's been going on with you, Johnny. What you've been playing?
So I just want to briefly mention. I kind of want to talk about two games, but I'll try and be as quick as possible speaking about them both.
Please do.
The first thing I want to talk about is Assassin's Creed Valhalla. It is like okay. I got to I put about I'm lost for words, okay, purely because I had a conversation with my friends about this the other day, and at about 40 hours I was like I'm enjoying this game. At about 60 hours, I promise you, I was like, I skipped all the dialogue because I was like, wow. I want this to finish. I want this to finish because the story structure is exactly this. You have like these, you got to take over all the regions of England, and there's like 13 of them.
Yeah.
But every single one of them is exactly the same with the exact same structure, basically just taking out people for this, doing the same thing every single time, going to do that. And like, after a while, it does make you go, oh, I remember why I haven't played Assassin's Creed since Black Flag. Because even though they've changed the game, it's pretty much still the same game, but with RPG elements to it. And like, I really did enjoy it. But I said this to my friend the other day as well, the same friend I'm talking about, that with Ubisoft, it feels like they're always on the cusp of making a really good game, but they just don't know how to do it. So they just throw everything in there from all other like open world games and expect it to stick, and then you just get overwhelmed more than any other open world game. I've played 3 open world games in a row, and it was by far the most frustrating. It also has. And really, like, this sounds like I hate the game. I really don't. I genuinely really enjoyed it for the first, like, 40 hours. But honestly, at 60 hours, the ending was just mad. And I was just like, I'm done. Dad saw me yesterday when it came to, like, it tried to reinstall on my computer. I was like, nope, don't you dare get back on my PS5.
Did you finish it?
Yeah, so I finished the game, but honestly, the last 10 hours, it was a slog. It could have ended a lot sooner, and
I think that's true of a lot of Assassin's Creed games for sure.
Should have ended sooner than it was. I think
there's a lot of pressure on open worlds to be bigger and bigger and bigger, and therefore has to be longer by very nature. And I don't think that's. It's a little bit like this whole thing about getting improving graphics over, but we don't care that much about having a bigger map. I mean, it's cool and impressive to be able to say it's as big as England. I don't know how big it is, but like I don't care.
And
Johnny, Yakuza, Like a Dragon.
Yeah,
that is an open world game that is amazing.
Yeah.
Doesn't overstay its welcome. I did most of the content in that game. Took me about 57 hours.
Yeah.
And a lot of that isn't stuff you have to do, but oh my god, you feel so rewarded when you're just walking along, like, oh, there's a little side quest thing there, and you're like, oh no, I need this milk for my baby.
Yeah.
And then this guy gets into a fight, and then you end up having to like go upstairs, and there's people like huge, like there's a whole Yakuza family like in nappies, and there's like a woman looking after them and stuff, and then you end up like recruiting them, and then they can become a summon when you're in fights.
Yeah.
And that's just like, that only takes 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's that whole little side quest, but you still feel so enriching for it.
Because actually, me and you spoke about this on Twitter recently, because I put up a thing on our Twitter page saying that, like, it was actually about Assassin's Creed. I think it was Kotaku shared it, saying that the game the last 20 hours was a slog, and I at the time I was like, I'm starting to feel it, and now I completely agree 100%. And I said, I kind of jokingly said on Twitter that, like, maybe there should be like an activity per square meter or something like that. But I do kind of feel that as a bit of truth in it, in that, like, if you're going to make a massive open world, at least make it more varied than just like, here's a thing that you can do here and here and here, and it's in the exact same thing every single time. Like, as much as Cyberpunk got a lot of hate for like reasons that are, again, true, it at least felt more varied. I got to 60 hours on Cyberpunk, and the only reason why I stopped is because it kept crashing. I got 60 hours into Assassin's Creed and I stopped because I was going to throw it out the window. And it was going to crash into the wall. That was going to happen with the disc. Anyway, I really enjoyed it. I posted on Twitter, it gets an Ubisoft out of 10. So that's probably whatever you want to think of it.
It's like an 8.5. It's like an 8.5, but it's never higher.
Yeah, never higher than 8.5, probably an 8. But like that's an Ubisoft. If you're giving a mark out of 10 for an Ubisoft game, that's what it is. I just want to briefly, this will be a lot briefer because I went on longer there than I wanted to. GoldenEye streamed last night with Dav Weeks, and that was just so much fun. It was blurry as all hell, and things have not aged well. But you know what? Just one thing I will say that has aged, and is the music, and not aged badly, is the music. The music was great, considering it was just MIDI files. I was loving it. Me and Dav Weeks had a whale of a time, and you guys popped in there as well, which was awesome. We had a really really fun stream, and I'm gonna try. What did was it Pokemon Stadium I got to do on Tuesday?
I would love Tuesday's Pokemon
so
Stadium.
So we did a vote, and I showed all my N64 games. I've got like 30, 40 of them or something like that, and everyone voted that I need to play. It was battle between No Mercy and Pokemon Stadium. The first one was, I think the one that won was Pokemon Stadium, so I'm going to play that on Tuesday, and I'll play some of the mini games as well, so that'll be a lot of fun. And do you know what I might do as well? I might get people to like if they're happy to, when I'm doing something, I'll just control one of the Pokemon for someone in the stream. They'll just tell me what to do. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, loved GoldenEye.
I have a question for you, Jonny. Can you do, the voice from Pokemon Stadium, like the narrator voice, the guy who's like...
I don't know.
You don't remember it?
No, I don't remember it.
Okay, well, in the stream, you'll hear it, and I want you to do an impression.
Okay. Okay, I'll try. It could be terrible. It could be terrible.
I think you'll be able to get it.
I don't think you realize how many hours I spend just perfecting badly bad impressions just to impress you, Zach Hamilton. That's it. That's all I do.
You know that I like him.
Zach, I don't know if you heard it on stream, on Johnny's stream last night, but I've altered the noise for the raid alerts when we get raided.
Is it?
It's now.
I must have missed that because we watched it. Me and Bro, honestly, you can't do that for me because honestly, every time I'm like, it's not going to make me laugh this time. It always does.
So Zach, next time.
This is so ridiculous.
But so me and Bronwyn watched for a while last night, but we didn't hear it.
It's because you know one of those things that go.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, which is with Tim Allen. It's like okay. Anyway, enough about Tim Allen. Let's do the quiz. Currently, as it stands, Dav Weeks is not here to defend his honor, but it is Dav Gape with 2 wins and Zach Hamilton with 1. So
there's no honor to defend.
He's got no honor to defend anyway.
Damn it. Why am I behind?
We've only had 3 weeks.
Give it, Zach. Give me a chance to write all the Zelda questions.
Send me the answers.
I forgot. I'm so sorry. All right. Here we go. Quiz time. Let me give it a Dav Weeks. That's gonna throw me off, by the way.
It's quiz time.
Question number 1. All right. Question number 1. Here we go. The mountain where you start your adventure from in Banjo-Kazooie has a name, but what is it?
Oh, fiddlesticks.
I don't have answers for this because I think you.
Mountain.
I think you'll know this. It actually has it in its title, by the way. That is a help.
The word mountain.
It's something mountain.
Yeah.
I think I know it. No, do I? Is this? I don't think this is right, but it sounds right. Maybe. Shit, I haven't played this game in ages.
I'm sorry. I actually thought this was going to be an easy one for all. Especially
I know it. It's in there.
Yeah, it's definitely in there. It's definitely in there.
Here we go. Zach, I'm going to get you to start. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, press enter.
Is it Spiral Mountain?
And Dav Gape?
Meadow Mountain.
It is Spiral Mountain. Well done, Zach. That was a good one.
Man, I wasn't sure about that.
Yeah, I love Banjo-Kazooie.
Banjo-Kazooie's great.
I think, in fact, Banjo is the only game I don't have, so I might have to buy that and just so I can stream it. Because you can play Rare Replay. But then...
You want to play it on your
N64,
don't you?
Yeah, I do want to play it on my N64.
Hey, Rare Replay isn't on PC.
It's not on PC. I actually bought Game Pass to play Rare Replay and it wasn't on there. So I was like, well, screw this. Screw you, Phil, and all your good games, but there's no Rare Replay. Alright, question number 2. This one I'm going to be more open. Okay, if you don't know the answer, I want you to make it as funny as possible. Okay? And then I'll give you half a point if I think it's hilarious.
Okay.
So you're judging. So remember
This
now,
isn't fair. I'm not funny.
you're playing to me. I am the audience. So be unfunny. Okay, that's where you go. Okay.
Poop
Dragon
jokes.
Quest is a. But if you know the answer, you'll get a full point. If you don't know the answer, but you make me laugh, you get half a point. Dragon Quest. It's gonna be really funny if I just don't laugh at either of you. Like you unfunny people. Dragon Quest is a beloved JRPG franchise that refused to sell its games during the week after Dragon Quest 3, and now only releases them on a Saturday. But do you know why? Again, I haven't got full answers for this because
Sorry, say all that again.
So Dragon Quest is a beloved JRPG franchise that refused to sell its games during the week after Dragon Quest 3 and now only releases them on a Saturday. But do you know why?
Refuse to sell them after releasing a Dragon Quest game?
Yeah, so after Dragon Quest 3, they refused to sell them during the week and now only releases them on the Saturday.
Oh, during the week.
Yes, during the week.
I just said during the week after Dragon Quest 3, and I was like, they just released it. Why wouldn't they sell it?
No, so during the week after Dragon Quest 3, and now only releases them on a Saturday.
I mean, I definitely don't know the answer, but I can't think of anything funny.
Well, you got a choice between guessing the answer,
or being funny,
or guessing it and being funny.
Is it a funny answer?
Do you know what? It kind of is.
Okay.
I reckon one of you. I don't know which. I'm not saying which one of you, but I reckon one of you could get close to this. Okay, I'll give you like
Quest 3. That would be like 30 years ago.
I'll give you 20 seconds. Okay. Doom 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 doom. I used to love that Celebrity Jeopardy with Will Ferrell. And welcome back to Celebrity Jeopardy. I'm Will Ferrell. Actually, no, he doesn't say Will Ferrell. I'm Alex Trebek. And then he was as I used to love SNL as a kid. My God, all these American fans listening to us going, "Yeah, it used to be amazing." I don't know what it's like now. I have no idea. It could be amazing. Anyway, gents, I've waffled on for long enough.
I honestly have no answer for you.
Okay, well, just say whatever comes to your head when you answer after Dav. Okay. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Dav, what are you going with?
So people could play Final Fantasy Monday to Friday.
And Zach?
Because.
Okay, I enjoyed both of those. You both get half a point. I'm going to give you both of those because I think they're both funnier in their own way. I love how I'm giving Zach half a point for saying because. It did make me laugh, so them's the rules.
I'm happy to give him my half a point.
No. You both get half because I also enjoyed the shade on the Final Fantasy, even though they're now with the same company. Anyway, the reason why is because people would call in sick to school and work when the games were released, and the police literally went up to Enix and said, "Nah, mate, you ain't doing this again." And
you're kidding? That's not true.
Honest to God. Because I saw that as a fact online. I was like, "What?"
That's amazing.
Apparently it's true. That's amazing. So they used to release it. I think they released it on a Thursday. That was the last one. Dragon Quest 3 they released it on a Thursday. Loads of people called in sick for school and work. Wow. And the police were just like, "Why?" He's like, "I'm playing Dragon Quest 3." And yeah, they had to change it. So now they're releasing on a Saturday. I think it became like a thing, obviously. Dad, what are you going to say?
Wow.
Oh, wow. I just saw you go, and I interrupted you, as I always do, but I didn't see wow. So that was it. Okay, question number 3. Broken Sword is a point-and-click adventure game that involves George Stobart investigating a mysterious murder in France, who then discovers that a terrifying global organization was behind it, and so much more. What was the organization called?
I have a very good answer here.
Okay. Is it the right answer?
I don't know. It's a good answer, though.
Okay. You both got answers?
Yep.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1, press enter. Zach, go first.
The Knights Templar.
And Dav?
Because it is always the Knights Templar.
And Dav?
ISIS.
Oh, God. It wasn't ISIS, but it was the Knights Templar, because it is always the Knights Templar.
Are you joking?
I'm not joking at all.
Oh, my life. I literally put it because it's always the fucking Knights Templar.
It's the Knights Templars, yeah. Knights Templars.
And my reference isn't necessarily to the, obviously, real-life awful people, but, like, loads of things were called ISIS back in the day.
Yeah, Archer.
Yeah.
And then,
Archer had that whole thing where they had to rename it, right?
There was a dog in Downton Abbey called ISIS that they killed off in an episode because it was called ISIS.
Oh, well, you can no longer live.
Yeah, there you go.
And it's like international S could be like spies and stuff like that. There's loads of like words you can put with
Could have
I's and
been.
S.
So it very easily could have been.
Yeah.
So we both went with good answers. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
neither one of us knew what it
Don't
was.
patronise me, Knights Templar.
Yeah, Knights Templar. It was his. Always guess
It's always
that.
the fucking Knights Templar.
Yeah. All right, question number 4. Zach, don't worry, is what I'll say, okay? Final Fantasy VII was originally supposed to be released on the Nintendo 64, but switched to the PS1 after they realized Nintendo would not be using discs and therefore would require an obscene amount of cartridges to create the game they envisioned. How many cartridges did they roughly estimate would be required to fit the whole game on the system? Okay, I'm going to give you 4 answers here because you could be wildly off otherwise. So is it 7, 9, 11, or 13? Okay.
I actually know the difference.
How many cartridges were they going to they worked out it was this number. How many would they need to fit Final Fantasy VII, which is 3 discs, onto cartridges? How many cartridges did they need?
What were the options?
7, which would be nice, I guess, in a way. 9, 11, 13.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, press enter. Dav, go first.
9.
Zach?
13.
Is it because Final Fantasy 30 isn't your favourite?
It's not. It's because I think that, if I remember rightly, a cartridge holds like a real fraction of what a CD can hold.
Do you know what? I'm going to take it as Final Fantasy 30 is your favourite because it's the right answer.
Yes.
It's 13. Can you imagine 13 N64 cartridges?
Cartridges
mad.
Cartridges have no space on them.
No
like
space.
they're absolutely. It's mad to me that they did
They
that.
take up more space than they have.
Yeah, exactly.
They literally.
Well, I think that's the reason why. And I remember Resident Evil 2. Like, that came out, everyone was shocked that I was able to get on the N64 because it was...
and it barely was.
And it barely worked. But, they did it. Seems to work.
They managed it.
They did it. Okay, question number 5. Batman Arkham Asylum was prototyped in a completely different style. But what genre did it start life as? Was it a first-person action-adventure instead of a third-person, Metroidvania, a rhythmic game, or a turn-based strategy game?
I feel like I've heard this one before.
So, Batman Arkham Asylum was prototyped in a completely different style, but what genre did it start life as? First-person action-adventure, Metroidvania, rhythmic, turn-based strategy.
Got it.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Zach, go first.
First-person action-adventure.
And Dav?
Metroidvania.
Believe it or not, I want to see you guys dancing, because it was a rhythmic game.
Oh my
Are you
God,
joking? I thought that was a joke answer.
No, that was the real
Wow.
answer. That was so originally it started off as you'd get into fights and it would be press buttons, it would be a full-on rhythmic game when you got into fights, which is absolutely bonkers when you consider what it ended up as.
Who made it?
Rocksteady.
Is that an American company?
They're London, aren't they?
Are they really?
I think they're based in London. Fairly sure Rocksteady are
British. They are British.
I think they're British. I think they're
in the Leamington Spa, maybe.
Yeah, they're definitely British anyway, definitely British. But yeah, start off as rhythmic. And
How interesting.
Yeah, you're crazy. It moved into another genre as well before it became the game we know it as, but I can't remember what the second one was. Okay. The creator of the Game Boy, Gunpei Yokoi, started his career at Nintendo, not in game development, but as what? Was it a chef, a janitor, a PA for Miyamoto, or a security guard?
Any of those are cool.
The creator of the Game Boy, Gunpei Yokoi. I've got a really cool thing to say. I got a big paragraph to say after you've answered it because he's very, very cool guy.
All of those are cool.
Gunpei Yokoi started his career at Nintendo not in game development, but as what? A chef, a janitor, a PA for Miyamoto, or a security guard? Do you have answers?
Yes.
Okay, let's go. 3, 2, 1. Dav.
Janitor.
Zach.
Security guard.
Dav, what's the answer?
Janitor.
It's janitor. Yep.
Did you know that?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So I've just got this little thing to read because it's the legacy he has for Nintendo is incredible, and it ends really tragically, sadly. So Yokai started experimenting with machine parts during his downtime and created an extendable arm toy, which pushed Nintendo into the toy-making business and went on to sell 1.2 million units. Nintendo weren't in the toy-making business when he joined, and his product took them into the toy-making business. He then went on to create the Game & Watch, helped move them into the gaming market with Donkey Kong, produced Kid Icarus, Mario Bros, and Metroid, all the while mentoring a young Miyamoto in game design. Sadly, he was killed in 1997 when he was hit by a passing car, But his legacy will forever be linked to some of Nintendo's greatest and most creative products. As an aside, he did come up with the Virtual Boy, but he warned Nintendo it would flop if they launched earlier than they should, and he was right about that. He pretty much said to them, if you release this now, it's going to be awful, but if you give us time, and Nintendo didn't listen and they released it, and he was right, it was awful. But yeah, he started off life with Nintendo as a janitor, which is amazing. Yeah,
What a cool
really
dude.
cool, really cool guy, and yeah, very, very tragic end, sadly. Question number 7. The Simpsons Road Rage was inspired by a famous video game series, but do you know which one?
Sorry, I lost you for a second there. Would you say that again?
Yeah, that's fine. The Simpsons Road Rage was inspired by a famous video game series, but do you know which one?
I mean, there's an obvious one, but I feel like that's
GTA?
too obvious.
How is it not GTA?
The Simpsons Road Rage was inspired by a famous video game series, but do you know which one?
See, if anyone asked me that, I would be like, oh, it's obviously got to be GTA, but you're saying it with such a little face on.
Say it one more time, Johnny. Say it one more time.
The Simpsons Road Rage was inspired by a famous video game series, but do you know which one? Just to add on to what you just said, Zach, my wife, Rosie, sometimes refers to me as a little shit, and she's not wrong.
I can hear it in her voice, and that's
you
funny.
little shit.
You
She's
little
not wrong.
shit.
She's 100% right.
Yeah.
And I love her for it. She calls me out on my shit.
When was Road Rage? When was GTA 3?
Road Rage was after GTA 3, I'm pretty sure.
Was it? Okay. Should we both put GTA?
Yeah, let's totally both put GTA.
That's not the answer I sent you.
Ocarina of... Right, I'm ready.
Why is there a Peter Pan looking kid in this game? Anyway, do you guys have answers?
Yeah.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Zach.
I went with GTA.
Sam, what did you go with?
GTA.
Do you want to know the answers,
It might be a
gents?
double bluff.
Is it Driver?
It's it's Crazy Taxi.
Oh.
Oh.
They did make a GTA.
Yeah, that actually
inspired-
makes a lot of sense.
Hit and Run was
Hit and Run.
Hit and Run was GTA inspired.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Hit and Run.
Yeah, me
Oh,
too.
it's about Road Rage.
Me too.
Oh, I thought that was... I got confused. I'm a dumb little boy.
I'm a dumb big man.
I never even played it.
Yeah, no, I
played Hit and Run.
I played that one, but I didn't play Hit and Run. Okay, question number 8. Bungie replaced a famous American actor with Nolan North in Destiny's expansion, The Taken King, due to timing issues, though many believe it was due to poor voiceover performance in the original game. Can you name that actor? Okay, it's Kit. So the choices are Kit Harington, Peter Dinklage. Oh no, it's because of the way I worded it. Sebastian Stan and Willem Dafoe. Kit Harington, Peter Dinklage, Sebastian Stan, Willem Dafoe.
Alright, I've got it.
Willem
Got it.
Dafoe. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Presenter and Dab go first.
Peter Dinklage.
And Zach.
It's Peter Dinklage, baby.
It is Peter Dinklage, and I listened to a bit of it yesterday, and it really wasn't good at all. It was just
I played it. I played it when
fine.
it was.
Well, that's the thing. It's
But
fine,
then so
but
is he.
a guy as good and as talented as Peter Dinklage, you'd expect more from. But
I don't know how talented Peter Dinklage is.
I think he's a very talented guy.
I have to say I don't like Game of Thrones at all, but some of the scenes that I liked when I watched it were the Peter Dinklage ones.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was phenomenal in Game of Thrones for the first however many seasons.
What I was gonna say, I
Towards
only
the
watched
end,
2 seasons.
And
so.
then the Avengers film that he's in, and
Oh, yeah.
I saw another film that he's in, and he's the weak link in 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri as well. Like, it's.
I quite
Is
liked
he
him.
in-
I liked him in that film.
I
thought
love that
was good.
film. I thought he was the weakest part of it.
But then, is it the weakest part in the sense that everyone else is fucking phenomenal in that film, or is it?
But then hire someone else who's also phenomenal.
Oh, I thought it was
Nolan
good.
North.
Yeah, like Nolan North. Nolan North is just going to follow him around now, just take over all his jobs. But yeah, it was Peter Dinklage. Nolan North is awesome though. So, it's not.
But I didn't realize this until really recently because when I played it, I had Peter Dinklage.
Yeah, and
and I haven't played it with Nolan North.
Yeah, they changed all of the game, didn't they? They changed. He did the voice, which is crazy. All right, question number 9. Name that badly described game.
Hey.
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Sneaky Boy hangs around with Italian... Oh, sorry, I need to... It's not Sneaky Boy, okay? It's Sneaky Boy, okay? Sneaky Boy hangs around with an Italian polymath whilst looking for fruit.
Polymath? I don't know what that word means. Why would you do this to me?
Sneaky boy hangs around with an Italian polymath whilst looking for fruit.
Oh, I know what it is.
Sneaky boy.
I don't know what that word means, but I'm pretty sure I know the answer.
Sneaky boy. It's not sneaky boy. I'll give you that. It's not a boy. I'm starting to sound like It's Always Sunny in
It's a
Philadelphia.
B-O-I rather than B-O-Y.
Sneaky boy. Like, yeah.
Like a meme kind of a thing.
Yeah, it's sneaky. Yeah,
Dav aging himself. Very rapid.
Who's the elder statesman in this group, Dav? I'm down with the memes.
The memes.
The memes.
The memes. Sneaky boy hangs around with an Italian polymath whilst looking for fruit.
Italian polymath.
You're going to kick yourself.
Yeah, I think as soon as you know what that word means, you probably know the answer.
I don't even think you need to know what that word means.
I knew what that word meant, but I don't think I do now. Looking for fruit. So it's a game that has fruit? Crash Bandicoot?
Dad, just go back to all of the games that have fruit.
Animal Crossing.
I'm really sorry. Due to timing constraints, we only have 10 years. No, we have about... we only have about... I'll give you 10 seconds to come up with an answer.
All right.
We need something, okay?
Oh,
you're still going.
It just keeps going.
I thought I was waiting. I was like, it's coming. I think that's what you're going for, right?
I was, yeah. I just
Okay,
thought
cool.
I would make an existentially
It was terrifying.
scary one. Yeah, it's really stressful,
I was
right?
on edge.
I was stressed by doing it.
Here we go. Okay, question number 9. 3, 2, 1. Press enter. Zacko first.
It's Assassin's Creed 2, baby.
Dav, what are you going
Ape
with?
Escape.
It's Assassin's Creed 2. Sneaky boy hangs around.
I don't know what polymath
So
means.
polymath is someone that is good at many things, which is what Leonardo.
That's a good word.
Which is what Leonardo DiCaprio is also good at,
Yes.
as well as Leonardo da Vinci.
He invented the helicopter, didn't he, Leonardo DiCaprio?
He did. He invented the helicopter.
If he had done, he'd have got off that
He
boat.
painted Kate Winslet in that film about boats.
Goes into people's dreams.
Yeah. Dream. Anyway,
I only got it because Sneaky Boy, Italian, and fruit.
Yeah.
Fruit is a little bit of a cheeky one. That's a little...
Apple of Eden.
Apple of Eden. Very clever. Very clever.
Okay, question number 10. The video game Altered Beast on the Sega Genesis / Mega Drive has an image of one of the beasts on the cover, but do you know which one? I have 4, so I'm going to give you the 4 because it's quite an old game. And this game is older than Dav, for instance. It's older than Zach as well. It's not older than me.
I think I know the answer to this one.
I was going to give you 4 anyway because I was going to give you 4.
Just give us the 3 wrong ones.
Okay. Tree. No. Bear, dragon, tiger, wolf. Bear, dragon, tiger, wolf.
Altered Beast. I've played Altered Beast, but I don't remember. I don't remember the cover.
I've given you some tough ones this week.
Altered Beast is quite good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I seem to remember it being good.
I loved that game back when I was a kid.
I'm ready, mate.
Yeah,
You
I'm ready.
Okay.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Press enter. Dav, what do you go with?
Wolf.
And Zach, what'd you go with?
I went with Dragon.
It's wolf. It is wolf. Oh my goodness. So the scores as they stand means that Dav can only hope for a tie.
Oh.
Because the scores are 5.5 to Zach and 3.5 to Dav. So this is the game drawing or winning or losing question, depending on how we end up. Tiebreak. Here we go. It's not really a tiebreak if it ends up in a draw, but still. Robbie Lakeman achieved the highest score ever set on Donkey Kong on the 15th of June, 2020. But how many points did he get?
I don't even know how the point system works on that game. Because you can just keep going, can't you, forever?
I actually don't know, but this is the point.
It resets.
It just resets, doesn't it? Yeah.
Like Pac-Man, yeah.
Did you guys ever play the one where after the first like few levels, it takes you off to like cities and stuff?
No, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's dope. It's like
great.
turns into like a crazy puzzle platformer. I played it on the Game Boy, and I just thought that was Donkey Kong because that's the only one I'd ever played. And since then, I feel like I'm dreaming it because I've never looked it up. I'm gonna look it up actually after the show.
Okay.
and I'll show it to you guys because it's cool. It's a really fun game because it makes me not want to play. Anyway,
I've got the correct answer. Bang on.
You've got the correct answer. Bang on. All right, here we go. I really hope you do. I don't. If you do, that'll be very impressive. Okay, Zach, you got an answer?
Hold up. I'm just putting commas in so it's clear. Okay, there you go.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Press enter, and Zach go first.
Oh my god!
I can't say what that number is.
What is that number? I can't read it.
7
is that
trillion.
Is that trillion or billion?
7,986,435,787,542. I reckon I've got this tiebreaker.
Dav, what did you go with?
I went with 12,345,678.
Okay, so yeah, both of you a bit off. It's 1,260,700 points.
I could get 1 million. That's rubbish. Oh god, that is so rubbish.
Which means that it's a tie.
Fun fact: there's a Donkey Kong arcade machine in Paris's Charles de Gaulle Airport, and I had the top score.
Hey,
was it 1,260,700 points?
It was 1,260,699 points.
So close.
So
close. So we get a tie.
But wait, if you can play it over and over again, and there's no time limit, and
I think he played for like 4. I think he just beat the previous record. He got to I think he was playing for like 4 hours. He beat the previous record. He was like, I'm done. I'll do it again if I need to.
Yeah.
Which is fair enough. But that is the end of podcast number 41. Thank you very much for listening today. If you enjoyed the show, then please follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Tell your friends and give us a review or a comment because that would be lovely. We are supported by some wonderful people over on Patreon. So everyone that contributes, like I said earlier, thank you so much. And if you would like to support us, then please go ahead and check out our page, Video Games Ahoy. And if you want to throw us some cash, throw us some money, you can do that, and if you don't want to, that's absolutely fine. We've got some cool stuff over there, especially with the Hall of Fame.
That Hall of Fame is saucy every week. I love filming those.
Yeah, I do. I love the Hall of Fame. I really, genuinely love it. It's been a lot of fun. We got. It's probably not time. Maybe another 2 weeks. Another episode will be going up soon. We're also proud to say that we're affiliated with Green Man Gaming. So if you have any gaming needs, I'm going to look for some of those delicious deals. Then make sure you check out the link in the description below, down there, if you're watching. Because if you're listening, then what are you looking at? Are you looking at your belly? I mean, it's somewhere.
We have written on all of your bellies.
It's on your belly. It's up. How did you do that? How did you do that? We're all streaming at the moment, like I said. So keep an eye out for us during the week. Zach, you said you're going to do... Oh, no, you're doing Wind Waker on Friday, right? So
No.
Sunday.
Oh, yeah, sorry, Friday and Sunday. So,
so you're doing it Sunday as well. Great.
Yeah.
So check out... I think Dav is doing some pokey... Are you doing pokey? But no,
I don't know. Saturday's kind of random. I kind of just sort of pop up some random streams like, hey, here's a poll. What am I doing on Saturday?
Dav goes with the flow.
People's choice.
Yeah, people's choice.
The people's champion.
I like it. People's champion. Like I said, Zach will be playing the Wind Waker. We'll be doing something on Monday, possibly Rocket League, possibly something else. I'm going to be playing Pokemon Stadium on Tuesday, and then we'll see how Dav and Zach go through the week beyond. Because Dav, again, you don't know what you're playing week to week. Often do you, Dav?
Currently, it's Cyber Shadow and Hitman. It'll be that for at least the next 2 weeks. When I beat them.
The next 2 weeks. That's it. That is it. We are Video Games Ahoy. And we'll see you next week.
Tatty bye.
Bye.